kids are doing is called BMore Me. It's going to help to change the narrative of Baltimore.
It's not really a dangerous place. Like on the news, they keep showing Baltimore's my home. It's where I grew up. We have to explore the city, like around our neighborhood, our school neighborhood, so we can get pictures and upload them to make a photo essay for class.
It's a lot of history, like the statues, the harbor, the activities they have, the community projects they work on.
These students decided to do a photo essay where they're going to gather photos and write about those photos to tell their story, to tell their side of Baltimore and what they see in the community.
We're looking at different times in history, going way back to like the Harlem Renaissance and women's suffrage, and looking at how different people in different parts of our time worked to change the narrative, to give the kids an idea of, hey, I can probably, change the narrative too. They may not be able to do it this way, but this is what they did and I can probably do it too. So the final project they are creating, and they have an option of creating like a mural or a piece of art or maybe even a video or something like that that expresses their narrative of Baltimore City.
I think that it's important to learn about your history, and it's important to learn what your ancestors did and how people your color was treated back in those days.
We can analyze expressions during the Harlem Renaissance in order to summarize how African Americans changed the narrative of race relations during the Jim Crow era.
If you know anything about the Jim Crow laws, the Harlem Renaissance, or the Great Migration, because we're going to learn a little bit about the Great Migration too.
The name comes from the fertile soil associated with the region. And for most of America's history, more than 90% of the country's largest minority group lived here. It was one of the largest internal migrations in U.S. history, and now data indicates that a new movement is taking shape. In the years immediately following emancipation, most freed slaves chose to stay in their community.
It's best to educate us with movements that's happened in the past so we can get an idea of how hard it was and how we struggled to survive back then than struggling now.
What kind of neighborhood activities happen in your neighborhood? And look at the pictures for some inspiration.
Memorials in Baltimore is a way for people to honor the deceased who have died for our freedom or died during terrorist attacks. We honor them through multiple memorials such as Fort McHenry, the Constellation, and Federal Park. Baltimore is very historic, for Fort McHenry and stuff. It's where people fought for our freedom as a whole, and now we're just being turned into a bad place, and it's not.
I just feel like violence and stuff happens everywhere, and they're kind of exaggerating how it happens in Baltimore. I feel like Baltimore is a really cool place. I like the way they educate children.
We are focusing on different parts of Baltimore. Like last time, we were trying to focus on the neighborhood and the city. But now we're focusing on the shops, businesses, and neighborhoods.
When we talk about the Inner Harbor and tourism with the memorials and history, with going to the stadiums, with the businesses and the restaurants. So as we start to mold this into our narrative of Baltimore, we can kind of group these things together as we see fit.
We just wanted it to pop. Like you walk into the school, you walk into the office, and you just see this entire unit. And it makes me feel good because we got a chance to show people what we're really about. And this is us showing the good in Baltimore.
I learned that we have a lot more monuments than what I thought. Yeah, I don't venture outside a lot. So it was really nice, it was really nice just going outside and just viewing Baltimore.
Everyone who lives in the city, it's our responsibility to work to change the narrative that's out there.